FCF, we are in the second day of our 8-day journey where we're looking at painful memories. And we're looking at a situation now where the Israelites, they get right to the border of the promised land. God had promised them that He would give them the land, lead them to conquer the inhabitants of the land and so forth. But when they saw the fortifications and the size of the inhabitants of the land, instead of trusting God, they were filled with fear. And they started to grumble against God and grumble against Moses. And so the Lord then knew He could not lead a people like this that wouldn't trust Him into the land of promise. So I want to pick up reading in Numbers chapter 14, verse 36. It says, "So the men Moses had sent to explore the land who returned and made the whole community grumble against him by spreading a bad report about it. These men responsible for spreading the bad report about the land were struck down, and they died of a plague before the Lord. Of the men who went to explore the land, only Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, survived. When Moses," now here's our key verse 39 of Numbers 14. "When Moses reported this to all the Israelites, they mourned bitterly." So here is the scene. Moses is breaking the news to them, if you read these other verses, that he's saying, the opportunity to go into the promised land is lost. You guys do not trust God enough. He is disappointing with you. He has decided you will have to learn to trust Him for 40 years wandering in the wilderness. You won't enter the land. And when they hear this news that God's not going to take them into the land of promise, they mourn bitterly. They had lost this opportunity. Now the truth was they would not have been able to go into the land successfully anyway, because they just didn't have a sufficient trust in God. But I wonder if perhaps some of us mourn the loss of some opportunities because we didn't trust God enough. We didn't seize an opportunity that was right before us, something that God actually wanted us to do, intended us to do, was enabling us to do. But we were just so full of self-dependence that we couldn't imagine God doing something more than what we could actually do ourselves. And folks, we have to get past that, or we'll have a lot of bitterness to mourn about. We'll miss a lot of opportunities. One of the things about walking with Christ is that Christ will often call us to do things that we find personally impossible, but when we follow Him and trust in Him and in His power, though our legs may be knocking together with fear sometimes, He empowers us and enables us to do what He calls us and equips us to do. So I hope that today, if you're perhaps facing an opportunity that you know is the will of God, that you will be bold and not end up like these Israelites, mourning bitterly that you missed a God-given opportunity. Goodbye for today.